Balancing work and family connects us, teaching my kids lifelong entrepreneurial skills.
If I'm well prepared, if I have enough time to schedule, if I have enough me time, and I'm in control of my day, and that control of my day, knowing what I want to get done, those top three activities, those top three intentionalities that I want to have at work, give me the freedom to be present when my kids are there next to me. And I grew up in an environment where my parents were working every day. And one of the reasons why I want to be so close to my children is because the lack of attention I had when I grew up as a kid, not having your parents come to that baseball game, not being able to come to the school end of the year show. There was a lacking. So, am I the best? No. Could I do better? Absolutely. But I think the willingness and trying and every year doing a little bit better. Like again, you're gonna laugh, but so now we established twice a week family pickleball early morning. I know it's that bad. So I get my kids out at from 6 to 7 in the morning, and we go all five of us. So my wife and my three daughters, and we go and play. That's again, it's we're creating a
Yeah.
routine so that, well, at least we spend time
Yeah.
together.
So how many kids do you have?
Three daughters,
Three daughters. I don't know. Are they like young, 10 and below, or
9, 10, 17.
okay? So how do you think being an entrepreneur helps you like be a better role model for your kids? Like, how do you think that present that life to your kids is going to help them out?
Well, a lot of the things that I learned in managing the teams and the companies, in a way, you kind of apply it to your family, and you end up putting in tools to how can we align better on our year objectives. So we established last year our family EOS, entrepreneur operating system.
So they're fully ingrained in the entrepreneur mindset already. That's
Well,
good. That's good.
So it wasn't on purpose to make them become entrepreneurs, but it's to give them a toolkit so
Yeah.
that they can be
Like here's another option in life.
very clear on what they want to get done and accountable. Because we say, like, you know what, I'm going to do that. And everybody says at the beginning of the year, let's do that. But we don't find the time to sit down and to structure our thoughts, to put in place a real game plan. And we read a lot about planning, but what does it really mean? And having this kind of roadmap and toolkit that allows you to break it down. And if at a 10-year-old, you're able to have that clarity of what are you going to get done throughout the next 90 days as potential rocks to complete. It's just unbelievable, the performance of a kid. And those are lessons that still adults, maybe in their 40s, 50s, and maybe sometimes 60s, don't know how to harness. So we apply a lot of I mean, I'm part of EO, Entrepreneur Organization, as well in Vietnam and also APAC. And a lot of the tools that we learn through our different forums or conversations are just unbelievable conversation starters, being able to ask the right question, asking the why, not always solving the problem.
Yes, like you're right. So many people spend so much time on getting the answer, but they're trying to answer the wrong question, right?
Yeah. Or sometimes you try to answer somebody's question, but you don't help him to find his own answer. And I always go with, well, why? Why do you feel like that? Like, and we have these conversations over a dinner table. So my 9-year-old daughter is giving feedback to my 17-year-old daughter. And it blows us all away. And you see, if you empower that child at 9 to have a mature conversation with a 17-year-old, and the 17-year-old is able to be in that environment saying, okay, I hear you and I appreciate that. That's a good perspective. I didn't think about that.
It's not like 17-year-old, get away from me, you little brat, little sister, you're only 9. You don't know what you're talking about.
There's a bit of that. But when we go into that environment of, like, we're maybe one of the daughters is having a struggle, or maybe my wife is, or maybe I am. Guys, I want to talk about it. I want to get your opinion on this. Let's talk about it. So are there directly into business tools? No, but I think it makes them become a better leader. And it makes them more strong in they're stronger in their communication. They're confident in what they're saying. And if they're able to express their feelings and how they can, how they tackle challenges and open up, I think that's maybe one of the starting points of being a good leader and a good entrepreneur.
And you do a lot of traveling also, correct?
A bit
Do you have a favorite place you've been to so far, or favorites?
for business or for pleasure.
Either one.
I enjoy my yearly trip back to the States. I haven't had a lot of vacation traveling. But yeah, back to the States is it's always good to go back.
So what's a place you've been to that you actually had a good time, but people were like, you had a good time where? Like, there's no way, like, I don't know, something crazy like Tunisia or Bolivia, like some random place like you had a good time at, and people were like, there's no way.
Well, Indonesia
Indonesian.
was, even for me, was a surprise. First time I landed in Indonesia, this was probably 15 years ago. I landed on a Friday evening at 5 p.m. and I probably reached my hotel. It was midnight.
What?
So the commute from the airport to the hotel was longer than the flight from Shanghai to Jakarta. And I called my wife that day and I said, well, honey, you know, if there's one place we're never traveling to, it's Indonesia. Sometimes, you know, life is a bit funny. It throws you a bit of a curveball. And, you know, 6 months later, you get an offer, you can't say no.
Yeah.
We end up finding ourselves in Indonesia. But actually, it was a blessing.